Okay, hello, my friend. Hopefully that you are doing great. So in this lesson, I want to share you one more feature from Catalan Studio. And in the previous lesson, we already learned about how to use the record web to record a record um, in the test script, and then we can review it, rerun it in the future. So, record and then playback is something like, for some scenario that will most likely change in the future, or some just basic scenario. So that will, run over and over again. But for the case that your product is a little complex and we have many scenarios there on the product or on the application. So basically what we need to do that we need to custom all the scenario based on the business flows, right? So today I want to share you one more feature, how to distinguish, how to use the customize, for example, object repository, how to create the test cases from those pay objects in the object repository, okay? So now, for example, let's go back and then I will tell you something before we start using the tool. So here, if I use this page again, the internet heroku.com here, and probably you can still remember that in the previous lesson, we used the form authentication here, right? So for example, I will try to call this page in the home page, right? This page is the home page. And after I click on the form authentication, okay, so this home page, we have many web elements here. Actually, they all are hyperlink. So one of them here is we have here is the form authentication. Okay, it's a hyperlink. And after I click here, it will navigate me to the login form here. Okay, and I would like to name this page a login page, right? And we have home page and we have login page. And in this login page, we have username element, we have password element, and the login button element here. So I want to abstract all of the thing like that. For example, if we do something like, as I mentioned in the first lesson, if we want to try to interact with the web element on the page, so basically what we want to do that we need to try to, sorry, we need to locate that element on the page based on the value in the DOM tree. So for example, we have the name, username, or ID username here that I already shared with you. For example, we have ID username here, and we need to capture that. So Catalan provides for us a very awesome feature. We call it a spy web. So when you use spy web, basically it will help you to capture the element on the page and you don't need to do anything else, right? And even if you need to custom the locator, but it's not the purpose in this lesson. I want to share you about the spy web feature first, and then in the future, I will share you how to custom the locator value later. Okay, so let's try to do something like we will have a two page. The first page is the home page, and the second page is the login form. Okay, and try to see how can we do that with the spy web feature here. So after you click here, so probably you will not see the Internet Heroku app URL here because I have just input it, so it's remember. So you need to try to copy the page again and then put here. Okay, so this is the page. So now, again, we can select what type of browser that we want to use the Object Spy feature here. But for me, I will leave it as, from here, and I just hit the start button. Okay, so I hit the start button here. It will launch the page for me. Just a moment, try to get this on the right side. So now, try to pay attention here. You can see here, very first on the top of the page. Okay, don't look at here, look on the top right of the page. So you can see the instruction that to capture an object, you press the key alternate and the backcode to capture the element. So it's a little tricky. So here, let me do. for you. So here, if I move the cursor here to the form authentication, okay, first step, we move to the element that we want to capture, okay? And second step, if you are on the Windows machines, you push the alternate key and the back code. But if you are on the Mac OS machine like me, you will put the option key and the passcode, okay, option back. And then something wrong here. Let me see. Here we go. So you see, after I do it, you can see here, we have paged the internet and form authentication here, okay? And then let's try to click on that one. Click on the form authentication, and then let's try to create a new page because we are not in the home page anymore. So try to create a new page here and just leave the value at default first, okay? And now you move the cursor to the page here, then put the alternate or option back code here. You can see we have the new element here, but it's not on the second page. Let's try to drag and drop to the second page here. So you can see we have the input username here under the second page. So we do the same thing for the password, and here we are. Just try to drag drop here, and then the final thing is this one, right? Just alternate or option backcode, and then we get this one. Try to drag and drop to the second page. So you can see the base is now, the base name is automatically generated here. And actually it's not the name that we want to do. So let's try to rename it to something like home page. Okay, just name it home page. So if you enter, it's nothing will happen. I think it's a little inconvenience here, and Catalog Studio need to fix this one. But if you click outside, you see, so it will change the page name here. Okay, so here, if you do the same thing on the second page here, and we call it is something like the login page, click outside, and then it's saved here, the new one. So this is the form authentication. So let's try to rename it to be something like 8 form authentication. So we can call something like I think we can have something like form authentication link. Okay, and then this is the username text box. I just want to rename it to be something like, more easy to read. So this is the password, text box, and this is the button. This is the login button. So login button. Okay. So we have the home page here. We have form authentication link, and we have username, text box, password, text box. Everything is okay now. And just try to click on the save button here. So after that, it will ask you where you need to save all of these things that have just been captured from the Spice Web feature. So I would like to store it under object repository here. Or if you want to do something like, you can create a new folder. So under this object repository, I can create a new folder, but I think we can put directly here. Okay. So now I click on the OK button and try to close this one. Now, if I go back to Catalog Studio here, you can see under the object repository here, we have the home page and we have the login page. So on the home page, we have form authentication link, and on the login page, we have login button, password text box, and username text box here. So I think you can try to rename the page from here as well. So what you need to do that you try to right click here and then you rename it, right? And you can do the same thing for the element as well. Try to rename. I just want to rename the typo here. Okay. So after you use the spy web here to capture the element on the page, the next step that you need to create a test case. Okay, so we already have the test case login with correct credential here. So maybe I want to create a new test case with the name login with incorrect credential. Okay, and now inside this test case, I will add step. Okay, so basically a test case or the test script in this context will contains multiple steps based on from the page, right? So we will go from home page to login page. So let me try to add something like this one will be the action that you want to do. Okay, so the first action that I want to do, that I want to open the page first. Okay, so let me try to have something like open browser. Okay, and the second step is, let me try to add the second one. I think we have some bug related to the UI from Catalan Studio because, you know, I'm using the dark mode system, and basically if you turn the dark mode by default, but you know, when I click here, it just, you know, collapse with the text color. It's not good, but anyway, try to double click, and here I want to navigate to the URL, and I want to input a string here with the value. Let me try to copy the value. This is the ones, and I put it here. Just hit on the OK button. Click outside. So open browser, navigate to URL, and now the next step, I want to do something like click, right? Click. So I want to click from the object, and this object view. Okay, let me do a little slow for you. So here, try to double click here. Okay, double click, and then you can select the objects from the home page form authentication. Okay, and then you can put you can hit the OK button here, and you can see click on the form authentication link, and I want to add the next step is something like let me think, input set test, I think. Up send key. Okay, this one, send key from the login page. So after we click on the form authentication, it will navigate us to the login page. And in the login page, what I want to do, that I want to send keys to the username text box first, and I want to put some value here, like something like my name. It should be a wrong credential. So I add the next step is send key again, and then let me select the login page, and this time it's password text box. Now I want to double click here, and then I will put something like wrong password. Okay, and the next step I want to add the last one is click action again, and what I want to do, that I will select the login button from the login page, and for the click we don't have any input or value. And the final step, I want to add something like close browser. Okay, so now after that you click on the save or save on here. So that means we have a new test script here. So let's try to select the login incorrect credential here, and then hit on the run button to see whether we can run the test script successfully or not. Yeah, here we go. Everything is okay. So I just want to try to summarize a little. So the Spice Web feature is something that will help you to try to capture the element on the page, and you don't need to open the developer tool on the page to capture manually. So you can see here, we can create a new test script from home page and login page, and you can see now everything is now in the structure. It's very beautiful now. So in the home page, we have the form authentication link. And under the login page, we have the username text box, password text box, and the login button. So for example, if you have another test script that will use the home page and the login page, and then you just do the same here. And the beautiful thing here, if you do something like this, I have just showed you. For example, one day, something changed related to the DOM tree value or something like that, and the username text box here, we don't have anything like the ID username anymore. And that means instead of we go to each test script and we update all of them there, we just need to update one to one place. And that will be expected in all the test cases that we have here. So it should be easier for us to maintain the shortcut. Okay. So this is the lesson about how to use the web spy feature from Catalan. So in the next lesson, I will share you how to customize the selector value a little, because in automation tests, sometimes we want to use some what we say, some best selector value. For example, I don't like this one, right? We have the ID here as the username, and it's still using something related to the expect. So I just don't want to use this one. So in the next lesson, I will tell you how to customize that thing. Okay. So now try to practice yourself and explore around. And bye for now. See you in the next lesson.